Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Never in my life have I experienced such a bizarre experience of traveling on a single flight. Today's journey starts in Vancouver, and I'm making my way to Zurich for a couple nights. My routing today is Vancouver to Seattle on Air Canada Express, then on a separate ticket, Seattle to London Heathrow on American, finally Heathrow to Zurich on BA. After some absolutely gorgeous Pacific Northwest flying, I had about a 3.5 hour layover here at SeaTac Airport.
See ya.
I haven't been here since 2019, and it's been much of an overdue visit since the endgate renovations. This space is so gorgeous compared to the rest of the airport. Tons of natural lighting and great food options. It wasn't that hard to find a quiet area to plug in and get some work done before departure time. I just wish I had access to that nice Alaska Airlines lounge. Well, soon enough, it was time to board my flight. American normally uses the D and N gates for their flights here at SeaTac, but today it was at the dreaded and cramped S gates. You know, in theory, they could operate a flight here. I just don't think these gates are sized for a 777. Also, the arrivals facility is all at the S and A gates. It only took about 10 minutes to get between the N and S gates on the train. Well, this is probably the worst view I have ever seen of an aircraft I'm flying on. Once when I got here, boarding was already about half done. So onto the plane it was.
Alright, great. Thank you so much.
The interior of this 777-200 is so nice and sleek. I just really wish I had a business class seat. But seat 25A will have to settle for today. This is your standard 343 777 economy layout, but I don't remember the seat pitch being this small. I haven't seen this on a North American carrier before, but the tray table was in a two-part foldable design, and it was also very sturdy. There's also a remote available, which saves time from sticking your arm out all the time, just to use the IFE screen. The universal power part is also on the back of the seat. A nice placement is set up between the two seats. Also under your screen, you'll find a USB and headphone jack. The seat features a good amount of recline with an adjustable headrest. The row I'm sitting in is the last row of the forward economy cabin, next to the lav and the crew rest. So there's actually only two seats. So this is where things got very interesting. 10 minutes to departure time, the captain got on the PA and said the first officer wasn't there. They don't know where he is and they're just patiently waiting on a phone call. 15 minutes later and still nothing. So here's the biggest problem with this flight. Seattle is not an American Airlines hub. This flight is for One World Alliance partner Alaska Airlines and all their connecting traffic. After asking one of the flight attendants, the pilots are either Dallas or Los Angeles based, and the flight attendants were all Chicago based. Everyone came in the night before and spent the night at the hotel. So after some time, the first officer was AWOL. I just hope they're okay. And since again, Seattle is not an American hub, they have no crew base here. So to do these long haul flights, depending on the length, 3 pilots are required, 4 on ultra long haul flights. The captain, first officer, and a relief pilot. The captain and relief pilot was there, just no first officer. My assumption at this time was the flight was unfortunately gonna get delayed till the morning, until a brand new crew was scrambled from a hub like LA. Or they did the unexpected, which turned out to be the best possible option considering the circumstances. Since there's 2 pilots on board, we're okay to fly transcontinental. So it was decided that we would fly to JFK Airport in New York, refuel, cater, and get a brand new crew on board. So that's what we did. We pushed off the gate about an hour past departure time and made our way towards New York. I did find it funny that people were excited that a meal was being served on this leg. They have all this food on board for a trip to London. Like, it's not like they're not going to use it with all these new circumstances. Right after takeoff, dinner was served right away, since this was only a 4.5 hour leg. I had the chicken and rice, which was not too bad. On the side was a salad with a vinaigrette, crackers, cheddar cheese, a bun, and finally a brownie for dessert. This flight came in from London earlier, and I found it interesting that they reused some of the leftover catering. American's IFE tends to get a bad rep for being unresponsive and hard to use at times when broken. Personally, I've had that too, but this screen was actually very responsive and fast. It's stocked with all the usual new offerings and large catalog, but I find the new movie releases as of late to be really lacking. Soon enough the lights were dimmed and I got about 2 hours of sleep. Right as I woke up, we were already on the approach to JFK. We touched down right before 4 AM. This is even before some of the Transcon red eyes are scheduled to land on the East Coast. We were all asked to deplane, as this plane was going to get cleaned and recatered. They said we can leave some belongings aboard. Unintentionally, I left my water bottle on the floor of the seat. This is Terminal 8 at JFK, one of American's hubs. When we got off the plane, there was just one poor agent that was working by herself, and this was only due to the time of morning. She was handing out vouchers and dealing with misconnecting flights. It was also informed that our new departure time was 8 AM. So it was time to crash on the airport benches with some blaring, annoying music. I'm sorry, but the Friends theme song isn't that great at 5:30 in the morning. Soon as 7:30 rolled around and it was time to reboard the flight. We had all the exact same seats, except my water bottle was missing. The cleaners took it and it was never seen again.
Excuse me.
We pushed off the gate about 20 minutes late and was stuck on the apron for another hour waiting for de-icing. To be honest, I was so tired that I kept on passing out that I barely even noticed.
Sitting on the gate like this, the sun takes care of any frost that's on the wings. The wings is where the fuel is stored for the aircraft, and when it sits overnight, a lot of times you get frost, but when the morning sun comes up, the frost melts away. But unfortunately, that didn't happen this morning, so the frost remained.
After that was all said and done, we made a surprisingly short taxi to the runway. This leg was only about 6.5 hours, and I passed out for about 5. I woke up off the coast of Ireland, and my seatmate informed me that I missed a meal. No worries, at JFK I bought some toasted pita chips and baba ganoush. The last meal was served and it was the stromboli. It was okay. I used the last bit of the baba ganoush for it. The lavatory is of a standard affair. It's definitely on the older side, but it was well stocked and kept pretty clean. So, in the end, this was an extremely rare event, and after this was all said and done, this was the best possible scenario given the circumstances. Even though there's only so much the crew and ground staff can do, all was done in a manner that was to the best of their abilities. Despite all the stress, everyone was friendly, and in the end, none of them were rude. And that's all I could really ask for.
And thank you for choosing American Airlines.
We sincerely apologize.
Again, this was an extremely rare case and won't discourage me from flying American Airlines ever again, and I typically enjoy flying with them, despite the contracted cleaners taking my water bottle. I ended up staying the night at Heathrow and bought a new ticket to Zurich on Swiss first thing in the morning. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this interesting experience and not so much a review, and I'll see you in the next video.